With each new season comes a ton of new releases. Some are shonen, some romance, but most of the time they are our favorite isekai and fantasy genre. With summer 2022 now here, we decided to take the time and list out some great shows that might have slipped through the cracks.
みんな15分で終わらせるぞ。魔法創造。
Welcome back to Animeology. Today we'll be taking a look at the 10 best new isekai fantasy anime of summer 2022. Number 10, Utaware Ramono, Mask of Truth.
皆の者、姫殿下の御前である。
After the events of Mask of Deception, the Yamato Empire is now ruled with an iron fist by a tyrannical ruler who seeks to control each and every one. The fate of the two countries, Yamato and Tuskure, now lie in the hands of a man who possesses the capability to bring about a change in their path. That one man is Oshitoru, who works to bring about confidence and a sense of power amongst the people to join in his quest under the banner of Her Highness, the Princess. With no confidence in their abilities, Toru's friends and allies feel overpowered by the invaders. But for the sake of his fallen comrades, it's up to him to provide them with belief, to give them a purpose. With an unwavering faith, enough to move mountains, the masked man's ultimate plan is to crush the invading army to the point of completeness, forcing them to never raise their heads up or attack anyone else for that matter. For if he fails to do so, then the future for his people is surely in ruins. Number 9, Cyberpunk Edgerunners. Set to release in September 2022, Cyberpunk Edgerunners portrays a futuristic city whose residents are obsessed with technology and body modifications. And in the middle of all this is a young street kid trying not to die. To protect himself from the ever-growing street gangs, he joins a group of mercenaries known as Cyberpunk and becomes an Edgerunner. Further information regarding this anime hasn't been released, like the cast and stuff. The only source of information currently available is its trailers, which show glimpses of high-tech battles which take place within the city, and a beautiful white-haired maiden which accompanies our protagonist. Everything aside, the animation alone has me sold. Number 8, Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? Season 4. With over 3 successful seasons, each being more intense than the previous one, time approaches near when we'll once get to grace Goddess Hestia and her band of adventuring misfits. The series centers around the life of a 14-year-old adventurer, Belle Crannel, who, after meeting the Goddess Hestia, is taken into her familia and begins his journey as an adventurer. With a few but trusted comrades behind him, Belle ventures into the vicious dungeons, looking for adventure and picking up quite a few girls while he's at it. Season 4 gives us clues of what lies ahead, as a teaser trailer goes back and shows some of Belle's past adventures throughout the series, while also managing to mirror what Belle really desires for himself. After losing a battle against the powerful Asterius in the finale of Season 3 and reconciling with Ice for some training, Belle looks more than ready now to pick up some more girls in the dungeon. Nope, and also adventuring. Number 7, Parallel World Pharmacy. Brought to us by Studio Dio Medea, Parallel World Pharmacy tells the story of Kanji Yakutani, who lost his little sister to a horrible disease at a very young age. Using the love for his sister as his driving force, Kanji dedicates the rest of his life to learning new medicine and curing the disease stricken. But calamity strikes once again when at the age of 31, Kanji passes away due to overwork, only to wake up in another world, inside the body of a 10-year-old. Now heir to the noble De Medicis family, Kanji, or now known as Falma, discovers that this new world is blessed with magic, granted through a guardian deity's blessing. Host to the guardian deity of medicine, Flama finds out the terrible state of medicine in this world, and using his knowledge of modern medicine and combining it with his mystic arts, Flama once again begins his work to cure every disease possible. With the blessing of creation and reduction, and eyes able to diagnose illnesses instantly, he pursues his vision of improving healthcare in this world, making it accessible to all. Number 6, Vermel and Gold. we now come into the Royal Artigia Magic Academy, where Alto, a young magician, is on the brink of failing his summoning magic class and repeating a year. Coming across a grimoire, he uses it to summon a sealed demon named Vermel and making her his familiar. Vermel happens to be notorious in ancient history as a devil that possesses tremendous amount of power and is capable of causing great disaster. Not to mention the inner desire to be loved and also to give love in some unspeakable ways. Vermel, as a familiar, gets her magical energy on a daily basis from her master, as she refers to him, through kisses and other forms of love. Alto's childhood friend, Lilia, grows jealous over their explosive relationship and tries to take Alto all for herself. All the while, the student body is taken aback by the unprecedented familiar. Alto works his way out of the pathetic life that he once had into becoming a great magician along with his big sister, who isn't so much of a big sister. Number 5. Luminous Witches. Created to bring in smiles, laughter, and to brighten up the mood, the anime really hits the spot when you feel down and need something to cheer you up. The catchy songs, dances, and not to mention the OP fight scenes, which gives the impression that the anime isn't made just for girls. This upcoming anime is about a group of witches known as the Music Squadron, who have been made to bring peace of mind and ease the heart of all troubled souls. The people affected by the Neuroi, like the ones driven out of their hometowns, take peace and happiness from the heavenly vocals of the Luminous Witches. Members of this unique aviation group tend to work differently from their rivals, and witches are the joint fighter wings, who fight to protect everyone and bring peace in the sky and land. The Music Squadron battle not with weapons, but with the help of music and their magical vocals, which gives people hope and the ability to believe in themselves. Together, they make the Allied Air Force Aviation Magic Band Luminous Witches. That's a long name. Number 4. Uncle from Another World. An isekai anime starring an uncle? Well, that's definitely a new one on the list of animes with completely weird names but engaging plots. After nearly 17 years of being in a coma, Takafumi's uncle Kosuke finally wakes up in the year 2017. After waking up, he doesn't seem to recognize the changed world that he's in, the high-speed internet, mobile phones, modern anime waifus, and all such important factors. Turns out that while he was in a coma, Kosuke had been transported into a fantasy world where he became a respected hero. From the small fragment of magic which he still retained, Kosuke shows his adventures to Takafumi through a magic spell. A surprised Takafumi can't believe his eyes when he sees that his below-average looking uncle was quite the popular and heroic type in the fantasy world. Nonetheless, this series revolves around Takafumi teaching his uncle the new ways of life, while he reminisces about his 17 years of magical adventures and numerous tsundere that were head over heels for him. Number 3. Made in Abyss Season 2. Hailed as the best anime to come out in 2017, Made in Abyss is finally getting the second season it deserves. After a mind-boggling first season that left fans completely peaked, finishing off what they started is only the right thing to do. From wondering what lies on the lowest floor of the abyss to pondering whether Riko will ever find her mother, Season 2 continues from where we left off, seeing Riko, Reg, and Nanachi embark on their journey to explore the 6th layer, the layer that prevents anyone from coming back. This magnificent story follows the gang as they enter the 6th floor, where lies a whole new civilization of creatures, along with the Hollow Princess, who seems to know quite a bit about Reg's origins. Could Reg have been born on this floor? The answer to many of their questions lay ahead as they slowly descend deeper into the abyss. Number 2. My Isekai Life.
魔法転送範囲凍結中
The name is too obvious for this one, and I'm sure you've probably guessed what the story's about. A high school kid gets transported to another world, gets super strong, gets loads of lovers, and saves the world from mass destruction. Similarly, this Isekai anime focuses on Yuji Sano, a black company employee who's summoned to another world while finishing his work at home. He becomes a monster tamer in this new Isekai world, but due to his profession, he's incapable of becoming an adventurer. Luckily, he meets some slimes who happen to have read some magical books and so help him into gaining magical powers and taking up a new profession, Sage. As Aunt May said, with great powers comes great responsibilities, such is the case for Yuji, who has to battle demons and every other such type of beings, while avoiding getting sucked into the evil of this malice-filled world. Oh, and did I mention the killer animation? Yeah, you better be excited for this one. Number 1. Overlord, Season 4.
不可の御身私のそうしてたるアインズ様には挨拶は不要座れ
Not surprising that the most awaited sequel to the Dark Lord fantasy is our top pick. It took an unhealthy amount of time, but the 4th season of Overlord finally seems within reach. The story of this particular Dark Lord is not something that shies away from tapping into the real demonic potential of the show. Unlike others who try to portray the Evil Lord as the good guy, Overlord boldly portrays the fact that a being such as Ainz has no space in his heart for mercy. The only thing he respects is loyalty and bravery. As the Lich ruler of the Sorcerer Kingdom, Ainz Ulugal now wants a new challenge, something that will make it worth his time. With the mightiest warriors in the whole world preparing to face off against the Overlord, the clock ticks for the ruler before he enters the battle which could possibly be his last. With his rivals who plan to ally with the slain theocracy as being their only means of victory against the impregnable conqueror, it's now up to the Ainz and his generals to once again grace us with their overwhelming force and defend his rule.